Swanam anugrahaye mam siddharupi charati aja vyaktatma vatam atma Bhagavan atma bhavana Swanam anugrahe mam siddharupi charati aja Vyaktam atma vatam atma Bhagavan atma bhavana Swanam anugrahe mam siddharupi charati aja Vyaktam atma vatam atma Bhagavan atma bhavana Swanam anugrahe mam siddharupi charati aja Vyaktam atma vatam atma Bhagavan atma bhavana Swanam anugrahaye mam siddharupi charati aja Vyaktam atma vatam atma Bhagavan atma bhavana Swanam anugrahe mam siddharupi charati aja Word to word, repeat after me. Vyaktam, clear. Atmavatam, of the transcendentalist. Atma, the goal of life. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Atma Bhavana, always wishing to elevate the living entities. Swanam, whose own devotees. Anugrahaya, just to show mercy. Imam, this way. Siddharupi, perfectly self-realized. Charati, travels. Aja, Narayana. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always anxious to elevate the living entities, who are His parts and parcels, and for their special benefit, the Lord travels all over the world in the form of self-realized person like you. Purport. There are different kinds of transcendentalists, namely the Gyanis or impersonalists, the mystic yogis, and of course all the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Kumaras, however, were both yogis and Gyanis, and finally Bhaktas later on. In the beginning, they were impersonalists, but later they developed devotional activities. Therefore, they are the best of the transcendentalists. The devotees are representatives of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and to elevate the conditioned soul to their original consciousness, they travel all over the universe to enlighten the conditioned souls about Krishna consciousness. The best devotees are Atmavat, or those who have fully realized the Supreme Soul. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Paramatma, is sitting within everyone's heart, trying to elevate everyone to the platform of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he is called Atma Bhavana. The Supreme Personality of God is always trying to give the individual soul the intelligence to understand about himself. He is always with the individual as a friend, sitting by the side of a friend, and he gives facilities to all living entities according to their desires. The word Atmavatam is significant in this verse. There are three different kinds of devotees, namely Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. The neophyte, the preacher, and the Mahabhagavata are the highly advanced devotees. The highly advanced devotee is one who knows the conclusion of the Vedas in full knowledge. Thus he becomes a devotee. Indeed, not only he is convinced himself, but he can convince others on the strength of Vedic evidence. The advanced devotees can also see all other living entities as a part and parcel of Supreme Lord without discrimination. The Madhyama Adhikari preacher is also well versed in the Shastras and can convince others also. But he discriminates between the favorable and the unfavorable. In the in other words, the Madhyama Adhikari does not care for the demonic living entities, and the neophyte Kanishta Adhikari does not know much about Shastra but has full faith in Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Kumaras, however, were Mahabhagavatas because after scrutinizingly studying the absolute truth, they become devotees. In other words, they were in full knowledge of the Vedic conclusion. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed by the Lord that there are many devotees, but a devotee who is fully conversant in the Vedic conclusion is a very dear to him. Everyone is trying to elevate himself to the highest position according to his mentality. The karmis who have a bodily concept of life try to enjoy sense gratification to the utmost. The Jnani's ideas of the highest position is merging into the effulgence of the Lord, but devotees' highest position is in preaching all over the world the glories of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the devotees are actually the representative of Supreme Lord, and as such, they travel all over the world directly as Narayana because they carry Narayana within their heart and preach his glories. The representative of Narayana is as good as Narayana, but he is not to conclude like a Mayavadis that he has become Narayana. Generally, a sannyasi is addressed as Narayana by the Mayavadis. Their idea is that simply by taking sannyas, one become equal to Narayana or become Narayana himself. The Vaishnava conclusion is different, as stated by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Sakshat hari tuena samasta sastra uktas tathava bhavayat sadbi. Kintu prabhurya priya tasya bande guru shri charanaravindam. According to the Vaishnava philosophy, a devotee is as good as Narayana not by becoming Narayana but by becoming the most confidential servant of Narayana. Such great personalities act as spiritual masters for the benefit of the people in general, and as such a spiritual master who is preaching the glories of Narayana should be accepted as Narayana and be given all respects due him. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Kum Kurati Vachalam Pangum Langayantim Guriyat Kripata Hamam Mandi Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Let me lead translation again. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always anxious to elevate the living entities who are his part and parcels, and for their special benefit, the Lord travels all over the world in the form of self-realized persons like you. So here we are talking about Prithu Maharaj meeting the four Kumaras. So in my previous class also I have mentioned so how the four Kumaras they were first impersonalist. So when Brahma first created, he first created the four Kumaras. So they are the eldest living entities after Brahma. So he created and then he asked four Kumaras, now you go and create a progeny and then the four Kumaras straight to Brahma's face said, no, we're not doing that. They rejected the order of their father and they went away. And Brahma was so angry. From his eye, the Rudra came after that. So the four Kumaras were a very highly elevated since their birth. As soon as they were born, Brahma asked them, go and create a world. And they were we don't want to get trapped in this world. Rather, we'll, become a devotee. But at the first, they were impersonalists. They didn't have any concept of who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They used to wander here and there. Finally, one day they went to Vaikuntha, and there is all Jaya Vijaya pastime where they offended four Kumaras and they gave him curse to Jaya Vijaya, so they will be born in Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And Lord Vishnu came to four Kumaras and seeing Lord, his beautiful form, the four Kumaras were stunned. And Lord was asking forgiveness on the behalf of Jaya Vijay, saying these are my servants, so they offended you. It means I'm personally offending you. You guys are a great personalities. And the four Kumaras were so lost in the effulgence of Lord, they were huh, are you talking to me? At the last they were because they were so lost, in the Supreme Personality of Godhead effulgence. They were because they always thought the Supreme is the Supreme Brahma. But after seeing the personal feature of Lord, they were so much enlightened, and then after that they become a devotee of the Lord and started preaching. Here after four Kumaras, they finally met Prithu Maharaj, and Prithu Maharaj said, the guys, you are representative of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, Supreme Personality of Godhead takes the form of a highly self-realized soul like you, and then they preach to all other peoples. They elevate all other peoples to the platform of devotional service. So today's verse mostly focus on like uh, importance of spiritual master. So I like to share a small story regarding the importance of spiritual master in our life. So this story is regarding the King Indra and Brihaspati. So King Indra, he's being a king of heaven. One day, here in Bhagavatam, we mostly only see King Indra puffed off in his position as a king of heaven. So he was like enjoying King Indra was enjoying his heavenly pleasures in heaven, and then one day his spiritual master, Brihaspati, he arrived at the hall. So seeing Brihaspati, seeing his spiritual master, what should one normally do? Pay obeisances to his spiritual master, bow down before him. No, he should offer the seat to his spiritual master, even higher than one is sitting. But Indra didn't do anything as such. He simply ignored Brihaspati. And Brihaspati, seeing getting rejected, not respected properly by Indra, he was so sad, and then he just disappeared from there. And then Indra realized, alas, what I have done. I have offended my spiritual master. So I should go and ask forgiveness from my spiritual master, because after all, he is my spiritual master. I offended him, being puffed off in my position as a king of heaven, being enjoying in my positions and everything. I didn't even pay much obeisances to him. So realizing Indra like that, but a spiritual master can understand what's in the heart of his disciple. So Lord reveals to his spiritual master what's in the heart of his disciple. So Brihaspati realized Indra is thinking. Indra was thought in his heart like, oh, I have made a mistake, now I have to ask forgiveness. But Brihaspati, realizing that, oh, Indra is now asking for forgiveness. So to teach Indra a lesson, Brihaspati just disappeared from there. Indra kept searching everywhere. He couldn't find his spiritual master. Nowhere to be found. At the same time, the demons, seeing that his spiritual master of demigods have left him, the demigods, Sukracharya, the spiritual master of demons, he ordered them. And finally, the demons, they are generally not following the rules and regulations. They don't care. But this time, the demons actually followed the order of their spiritual master, Sukracharya. And they had a very big war with the demigods, because demigods didn't have mercy of their spiritual master, but the demons this time, they have got the mercy of the spiritual master. So who won the war? The demons. So this time the demigods got defeated by the demons, and they were shocked, Sukracharya being obedient this time, actually following the order of the spiritual master and taking proper shelter. The demons finally took a shelter of their spiritual master properly, and then they defeated demigods. And then after being defeated, Indra went to Lord Brahma. And then Lord Brahma sarcastically start chastising the demigods, you are the demigods, you are the highest position in this material world, you are you have got so much opulence, you have got so much war experience, nobody can defeat you, but you got defeated by demons just because you didn't pay obeisance to spiritual master. You don't respect your spiritual master. So that happens to one person who doesn't respect his spiritual master. If you don't show respect to your spiritual master, then your bhakti is doomed. Your bhakti is gone. My Guru Maharaj always say, never ever take the body of a spiritual master to be ordinary person. The moment you take spiritual master to be ordinary person, then your bhakti will be nowhere. We are only here because of mercy of our spiritual master. In my previous class also I have talked we don't have any single qualifications to even chant the name of Krishna, because Prabhupada has given us, because he is the pure devotee. So that's the importance of spiritual master in our life. So after that, the Brahma, he chastised demigod sarcastically, and then you didn't pay obeisance to your spiritual master. How can you get defeated by a demon? So and Indra was yeah, listening. And finally, demigods, Brahma suggested them, you go and pray to Supreme Personality of Godhead. And finally they started praying for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, being pleased by their prayers, he first appeared in the heart of a demigods, it's similar to Dhruva Maharaj's pastime. The Lord first appears on the heart, and then from there he manifests. And then seeing like Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demigods started offering prayers to them. They started glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oh, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although you created us, but your opulence we cannot know. You are only to be known by your devotees, but we don't have that qualifications to know you. Even like, so our devotees' position is always higher than us. So they started praying to Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Supreme Personality of Godhead, he said, "Okay, done. I'm gonna help you." So he said, "You go and ask Dadichi for his bones, and then you tell him I asked him, and then after that he will give it to you. And then from there, the Vishwakarma will make a Vajra, Indra's Vajra. All of us might have heard about Indra's Vajra, right? Thunderbolt. And then yeah, so Indra's Vajra, and then Vishwakarma will make a Vajra, and from that, oh I missed. Sorry, I went too far. Sorry. And the demigods, the Brahma, he ordered demigods to actually go to Vishwarup. Sorry, I went too far in the story. So Vishwarup was a young, he was born in a demon family, but he was a son of Twasta, and he was a like young Brahmana boy. Vishwarup had a 3 head, and then he said like go and approached Vishwarup, and after that meeting Vishwarup had 3 head. So he had 3 different head. One of his head was to drink soma, one of his head was to drink wine, and one of his head was to eat food. So Vishwarup, and after that the demigods, they went to Vishwarup, and they asked Vishwarup like, although you are a very young boy, but you are very learned in scholars and everything, so you know what is the truth, so you are qualified to be spiritual master. Don't think like you are younger in age than us, but you are qualified to be a spiritual master. So they paid obeisances unto it's like him, and then they said like, although we are you are demons, we are demigods, but our mothers are sisters, so in relation you are younger than us, we are relatives, so and then you should help us like that. So and then here what is saying, like we can see that like a spiritual master can be anybody who has the perfect knowledge of Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it doesn't matter if spiritual master is very old or like very young. Even like Indra, he is like being much older than Vishwarupa, but he is still accepting Vishwarupa as his spiritual master. So even like we see our Maharaj, so proper disciples, sannyasi disciples, they are when they took sannyas and they were like 23-24 years age, and the disciples used to be like 60-70 years old people. So to become a spiritual master, one doesn't have any age limitation or requirement. Anybody who has the knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can distribute the knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead, is qualified to be spiritual master. So after that, finally Vishwarupa accepted the request. Okay, you are my senior, so you have asked me, so I'll help you. And finally there is all like a Vishwarupa, he taught the demigods the Narayana Kavacha shield. So there's like whole pastime, one full chapter in 6th canto about Narayana Kavacha shield, like how to secret hymns of Narayana Kavacha shield. Like one should first touch kusa grass, wash one's mouth with the achamana mantras, one should observe silence and place 8 syllables mantra on his right part of his body, Om Namo Narayana, and place 2 syllables mantra on his hand, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 1 syllable should be placed on each of the fingers and should be preceded by the pranama omkara. Therefore one must chant 6 syllables mantra, Om Vishnave Namah. So this like whole process, and then how to prepare, and then there's like a very long process of Narayana Kavacha shield. But that Narayana Kavacha shield, once it's done properly, then it will create a shield barrier, so protection barrier. So you chant the Narayana Kavacha shield properly, then there is a protection barrier, so you will be defeated by nobody, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead will be protecting you. So if Supreme Personality of Godhead want to protect you, nobody can kill you. So and then all these things happen, and then the demigods, Indra did, and then Vishwarupa, he offered oblation into fire in the name of Indra, in the name of demigods, but he had 3 mouths, so he used to chant mantra loudly and offered obeisances into offered oblation into fire on the name of demigods, But since he was born in a demon family, he had that sentimental attachments toward demons as well. So secretly from his different mouth, he was also silently chanting the mantras for his demons, brothers, and his families as well. So, but Indra came to know about it. So Indra knew, like, oh, he's cheating me. He's actually, you know, um, uh, offering obeisance to the name of demons as well from his, because he had three different mouth, three different head. So Indra, being so angry, he took his and cut all three heads of Vishwarup. And then after that, because he was of course a Brahmana, and then Indra had to went, like, he got a sinful reaction of killing a Brahmana, and he had to suffer for his sinful reaction for 1 year. And finally Indra distributed his sinful reaction into 4 different parts and gave it to 4 different things. So the 4 different things are like persons or whoever take this sinful reaction on the behalf of Indra are earth, water, trees, and woman. So woman, trees, earth, water. The 4 of them took one-fourth of sinful reaction from Indra. And then like that Indra become freed from it. There is like whole story of why tree agreed to take a sinful reaction of Indra, why earth agreed to take a sinful reaction of Indra, why woman agreed to take a sinful reaction of Indra, why water agreed to take a sinful reaction. There's like, trees, every time we cut the branch of a tree, a new branch will grow out from there. So Indra gave them a boon like that, and they said, okay, we'll take the reaction. In earth, like that, if there is any ditch, like, you make a ditch in the earth, make a hole in, but in generally time it will get automatically filled up. So Indra gave that boon, and they were like a barter system. You gave us something and we take something. So Indra gave them to that, and they take. So similarly, like women and water also take the sinful reactions from Indra. And then Indra, after that, starting enjoying his heavenly opulences again. But Twasta, seeing his son getting killed by Indra, he was not satisfied at all. So he was very angry. And then he started performing a yagna. And from that yagna, he wanted a son who can kill a Indra. And then who can kill a Indra. And then after that he performed a yagya, but he did a slight mistake. So he did a mistake while chanting the mantras. He should have chanted the mantra for like very short, short. Like same mantra, it's the same mantra, but very short, in not like a very long way. Not like you try to stretch your voice and make it very long, but in a short way, short form. But actually he chanted the mantra, that same mantra, in a very long stretched form, and the meaning got manipulated because of his mischanting of the mantras. Same mantra. So he wanted a son who will be enemy of Indra. But actually he chanted the mantra long, the meaning got manipulated, and he got a son whose Indra is an enemy. Did you get that? Like, actually he was supposed to be number one enemy of Indra and supposed to kill Indra. But because of his mischanting the mantra, not mischanting, but he chanting the mantra, but he chanted it long, in a very long way. So in that way, the meaning got manipulated and got a son whose enemy is Indra. Not a Indra's enemy son, but a son whose enemy is Indra. So it means his son was supposed to be killed by Indra. But he was so powerful, he was like a king of demons, like so powerful, nobody could defeat him. He was that powerful. And then he started creating terror and havoc in whole of the universe. And demigods, their situation was very fearful. And as usual, the demigods again ran to, before they didn't ran to Supreme Personality of Godhead. They only ran to Brahma, and Brahma ordered them to go to Vishwarupa. But this time finally they ran to Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he asked demigods, being pleased. I have already mentioned, like they offered a prayer and everything, and being pleased, he tell them to go and ask Dadichi his bones. And after that From his bones, Vishwakarma will make a Vajra and you will be able to kill Indra. Sorry, Vritasur. Sorry, Vritasur. And then they went to Dadichi. But at first, Dadichi also tried to test the demigods. And he said, like, although I know this body is to be gone one day, but who would like to give his body on his purpose? Everybody. He asked, like, would you give me my body? Nobody, right? In law, people will say, I'll give my life for you, but actually, when there is a point of giving life, nobody will. Nobody will give his life for you. They'll only say. So similar, Dadiji was like, for a person, his most important thing, the most thing in the he love in this world is he himself, his body, nothing else. And the time of everybody who will say, I love you more than my life, I love you more than myself. At the time of distress or at the time of saving their own body, they will show their true color. Nobody will save you first. They will save themselves first. So he was like, okay, why should I give you my body? I love my body. No, this is my own body. Why should I give it for you? And then they again, like, started pleasing the Adichi. Like, although persons like you, like, they are, your persons like you, they do everything for the welfare of the society or welfare of other people. So because of you giving this body, all there will be welfare of all the demigods. So Indra is like to this point, like, because it was the order of Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he went and then asked for his body to save his throne, to become the back of Indra, like king of Indra Loka again. He was asking someone else's life, but it was the order of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So and then because Dadisi, his tapasya, his austerity was so much. Because of austerity, his bones, they have become the strongest thing in the world. Like, so his bones were so strong. And Dadichi finally agreed to, because the Dadichi and Indra, they had already a little bit of not a good relation in past. Let me tell that story. Like the Ashwini Kumaras, Ashwini Kumaras, they are like a Vaidya, they are like a medical doctor of paramedics of demigods. But they were not counted as demigods. And then Indra, they wanted to know about the Vedic knowledge and all the wisdoms from Dadichi. And then Dadichi, they were like, Dadichi and Indra came and said, like, I don't want these Ashwini Kumars to be counted as demigods. So you don't give them those knowledge, otherwise I'll chop your head off. Indra told you to Dadichi, that was like before. And then, but Ashwini Kumars, they requested, and of course Dadichi, he being like a self-realized soul, if anyone requests you get knowledge, he can't reject. And he said, like, Indra will but chop my head. And Ashwini Kumar, they were like, doctor. And then they said, like, okay, we'll cut your head off and we'll put the head of a horse in your body, and you speak that knowledge to us. And when Indra will come and cut your head again, your horse head again, we'll put back your original head. So it's like that. But and Indra again requested, like, but later Indra had to request him, like, please give your body for myself so I can save my kingdom. And then he finally said, and they were like, and Indra used Ashwini Kumar, as he said, like, if they ask them, he will not reject Ashwini Kumaras. And then finally Dadichi said, I was just testing you guys. Anyway, I'm dying. Like, what will be more fortunate for a person who is dying, and Supreme Personality of Godhead has given you order to go and ask me for my bones. It means, like, Lord himself is asking. So it's my time to go back to Godhead. And all like that, he on meditation he translated his life air, and at a suitable time he gave up his body. And from his bones Vishwakarma made a Vajra. And at the end of Satya Yuga, and nearly starting point of Treta Yuga, and a dawn of Satya Yuga and starting point of Treta Yuga, a very fierce battle between demigods and demons went on. So demigods were led by Indra and demons were led by Britasura. But Britasura was so fierce, but he was a devotee of a Lord. And then Indra and Britasura, they had like a very big fight. With one club, Britasura threw. Indra threw his club toward Britasura. He caught it and threw it back, hit Indra, and his elephant both fell down on the ground. So he was that much powerful. But he was like, encouraging Indra, and he was, and And he was sarcastically, that's a favorite part of my this whole story. Sarcastically, he did, what's it called, make fun of Indra. He was like, you personally went in front of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and when he was present there, instead of asking for his service, instead of asking going back home back to Godhead, Indra, you asked your Indra Asan again. So what kind of foolish person you are? You know what I mean? The Supreme Personality of Godhead is personally present before you. You could have asked, oh Lord, I don't want anything. I want your service. Please take me back home, back to Godhead. Please take me back there. I want to do your service there. But you asked for your, again, that chair of Indra, King Indra, being Indra of heavenly kingdom. And he was like, making fun of, like sarcastically making fun of Indra. But you kill me, come on. Indra was so demotivated because he was nowhere to be killed. Britasura, he tried every means. He cannot kill him. Indra was demotivated. In the battle, you can see very funny way. Britasura is actually motivating Indra. Come on, kill me. Come on, kill me. He's like that. Come on, kill me. Because that weapon had, and Supreme Personality of Godhead said that weapon will be personally empowered by me. So Britasura said that weapon, Vajra, is personally empowered by Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you kill me, of course I'm gonna go back to Godhead before than you. He's telling Indra like that. You will be stuck in your Indra Asan, your king of being a king of heaven, saving your chair from different demons time after time. But I will go back to Godhead. Like, and then, he was like, finally Indra, he chopped his arms. And then Britasura, once he threw something towards his club toward Indra, iron mace toward Indra. Indra got again fell down on the floor. His Vajra fell on the ground. And Indra, realizing the words of Britasura, Britasura, while fighting Indra, he was giving knowledge about Supreme Personality of Godhead to everybody. Indra was shocked. He was like, actually we are not this. He was like giving knowledge of everything. Like, you are not this body, you are soul. Why do you want this, all this opulent thing? Go back home, back to Godhead. Why are you doing all this kind of thing? If I die, I'll go back home, back to Godhead. He was like that. So actually he was imparting the knowledge about the absolute truth about Supreme Personality of Godhead to demigods. Actually, demons teaching demigods like, actually you are doing whatever you are doing is the worst of your time. Time and again someone else will come. You have to keep running, saving your chair. But yeah, why don't you go back to Godhead? It was like, there's like whole, very long story of like a chapter where Britasura is actually in fighting, as at the same time he's imparting the knowledge. Like, he's actually talking about dharma over there. And then Indra was shocked, like, this is the devotee of the Lord. How can I kill the devotee of the Lord? But the demigods was like, if you kill him, no, he will be safe. And then finally, Indra chopped his both hands. But he still swallowed Indra. He swallowed Indra on his whole. But Indra with his Vajra caught his stomach and came outside. And he started cutting his head. But Britasura was so huge, it took him Indra 360 or 365, completely near 1 year, to finish cutting his head. And while Indra was cutting his head, Britasura meditated on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he went back to Godhead. So yeah, he went back to Godhead, and there is like a whole another set of story. If I tell you that, I will cover the whole 6th canto from first to last. So there is a whole story of how Britasura, being a demon, become a devotee, because in his past life he was a devotee of the Lord. Just because he offended the Lord Shiva and Parvati, Goddess Parvati, and he was cursed to be born in a demon. But actually he was a very perfectly self-realized soul in his past life. And there also he went to meet Lord Sankarsana, where Lord Sankarsana, he saw Lord Sankarsana is telling Bhagavatam to Folk Maharaj. There also we can see Folk Maharaj. So in the purport, Prabhupada writes, Sakshad harito hai na samasta shastre ukta sadhava bhavayatava sadbi kintu pravarya priyaiva tasya bande guru saranaravinda. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like the spiritual master is the personal representative of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we should never consider our spiritual master ordinary person. So we already see like what happened to Indra. There is like whole set of story because just Indra offended his spiritual master. He didn't pay obeisance to his spiritual master. He had to lose his kingdom again go please Vishwarupa and again fight with demigods. He killed Vishwarupa, killing a Brahmana. Again Twasta angry, killing his son. He again the obeisance. So Indra had to go through whole sort of problem. Sorry, just because he offended his spiritual master. So spiritual master is very very uh, important in our life. Similarly, like Prabhupada, I keep mentioning in my each and every class like what Prabhupada has did for us. How he went to America at such an old age in a ship, in a cargo ship, not even a plane, with nothing, no hope what is gonna happen. Simply because it was the order of his spiritual master. And all Prabhupada disciples we hear they went to preach in China, in a communist country. How they preached in Soviet Union, communist country. My Guru Maharaj, I think it was, I don't know, other two. One was one different Maharaj and one Prabhu's. So there were like three people and one my Guru Maharaj. And then they gave a special class on Bhagavad Gita. And then the other Prabhu, he said like in Russia during the time of Soviet Union, the member of a parliament also some secret, they were devotees, some of them. And every time the big leaders of Soviet Union, like the heads, generals, everyone used to have meeting. In Soviet Union, they used to love oranges so much. They used to love oranges so much. And then the devotees who were inside that government, and they used to say like, okay, we'll organize the orange for you guys. And they will be so pleased, like orange organizing. And they will go buy orange, clean it, everything, do it, offer it to Lord, and they will bring it when all the generals like used to take orange with us so much like, oh my god, so nice these oranges are, not knowing it's actually a Krishna Prasad. So he said like actually all the big members of Soviet Union at that time, big generals and like the big politician, everyone at that time, they ate Krishna Prasad. So that's like that's how much risks they used to take. They used to get in Soviet Union, the devotees, they used to their bread bag used to get snatched. They were in jail. They used to make the bread they used to give them to eat. Didn't used to eat. They actually make a ball from a bread and chant in that. So how much difficult is preaching in those kind of country? How much difficult is preaching in like during the time of war in preaching in a countries like Pakistan? So just because Prabhupada said to Tamil Krishna Maharaj, like sometime we go to Chatswood, all of us has gone to Chatswood for the book distributions. We went to Chatswood, there are like lots of Chinese community. Try distributing at least one book. At least one book. That's like the hardest thing ever you'll see in your life. And can you imagine how they preached in Soviet countries and communist countries? How much hardship they had to went through, how much enthusiasm and how much surrenderness they had toward their spiritual master, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. That should be the mood of everybody. In similarly 6th canto, I think I'll cover the whole 6th canto today. In 6th canto, in Ajamila pastime, when Yamadutas was ready to take Ajamila, the Vishnudutas came and they stopped him, and the Yamadutas were like, we are Yamaraj, we are the Dutas of Yamaraj, we take life, how can we stop us? But you look so effulgent. At the same time, they were soft as well. You look so effulgent. Oh, great personalities, who are you? And then 4 Vishnudutas posed questions in front of Yamadutas. Actually, what is the religion and who are you following? What do you know? So in the Prabhupada rise, right? One has to know what he is doing and one has to know what he is following. Why are we here in Krishna consciousness following Prabhupada? Why? Do you think like, oh, just like my friends come to temple, so I also came, or like, actually no. Why you are following Prabhupada? You have to know. Some might ask you like, why are you following Prabhupada? Don't be a blind follower. Because everybody in this material world, there's a blind following. Because if we follow blindly, what's the difference between other people and us? Even the other people, like other people, Mayavadis and all those kind of things, they are also right. They can also sit down here and give class to people and say we are right. For other religions, if we go to Christian people, they will say like, okay, we are right, but these people are wrong. These people are wrong. These Hare Krishnas are wrong. We are right. They will say like that. In Blacktown, I went for books, and then there was one devotee, like not devotee, sorry. There was one guy who was like, screaming like, Jesus will save you, Jesus will save you. And as soon as we started distributing books, he saw us and he came near us and he was like shouting near us, like, aiming at us, Krishna cannot save you, Krishna cannot save you. He was like, for him, he is right. He is in mode of ignorance, but for him, his consciousness, he is right. He thinks I am right. So what's the difference between them and us? We should know Prabhupada. We should know Prabhupada. We have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he met Mayavadi sannyasis, and Mayavadi sannyasi will ask, a sannyasi should sit down, read Vedic knowledge, read Vedas. Why are you singing and dancing, making noise? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my spiritual master said, I am a fool number one in this world. Reading Vedas, reading Shastras is not your capacity. You simply, I give you this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You simply chant this one. That's your qualification. Iswarapuri said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it was the order of spiritual master. And Mahaprabhu, nothing at all. Only chanting and singing and dancing. Into that point, he said like, my spiritual master said this, you are a fool number one in this world. You can't read any Vedas and nothing. You don't have knowledge. You simply chant this mantra I give you. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, following the order of spiritual master, he chanted. And then one day he went to his spiritual master and asked, what have you given me this? What is this? I chant, tears start flowing from my eyes. I get ecstatic. Sometime I chant and sing and dance 8 hours, 10 hours. I cannot stop myself. The hairs of my body are standing. And then tears are flowing from my eyes. My body is shaking. What is this? What have you given me? And he said like, because you have mastered. You are like perfect in chanting the name. Can you imagine the position of a spiritual master? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is like Krishna himself. And he is telling to Krishna, you are a fool number one. You don't know Vedas. Actually, Krishna says, I am the knower and compiler of Vedas. The purpose of Vedas is to know me. But spiritual master is saying to Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, that you are fool number one. That's the position of spiritual master. You can't do anything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he know everything. Like when he was a young boy as a Nimai Pandit, he used to grab all the Brahmanas boy and everybody was feared of him. They will come, he will gather boys, the Brahmanas boy will read Shastras, and he will ask such a challenging questions that nobody could answer. And everybody used to run away from, oh, Nimai Pandit is here, now run away, because he will ask something that we don't know. And he will defeat us. He will pose a statement from a Vedas and we'll clarify it, and he will defeat us again back with the opposing statement. So that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like, there is also a whole pastime of how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Iswarapuri, become a spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because he served his spiritual master, Madhvendra Puri. His disciples used to serve him as well, but he was like, at the night time, he used to clean his night soul and everything. To this point, all these disciples used to do normal service, but cleaning his night souls, cleaning his body. He used to be like, ew, this is like, stool, who will touch it? But Iswarapuri was the only one who was cleaning his Guru Maharaj's stools and everything. And he was so pleased, Madhvendra Puri was so pleased with Iswarapuri's service. He said, just because of this one service, you have purchased Krishna today. That's why he became a fortunate one to be the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's the importance of a spiritual master in our life. So I was talking about, we should know the mood of Prabhupada. So Prabhupada said, you should know what you are following and what you are doing. So it's very important to understand the mood of Prabhupada and mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What's the mood of Prabhupada? You preach. What's the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Whoever you see, tell them about Krishna. Preach the knowledge of Krishna. He told Nityananda Prabhu, like, go and preach in Bengal. Even the Grihastha devotees of Mahaprabhu used to preach. They didn't used to be like, oh, no, we are Grihasthas, we have a family. No, they will preach. Brahmacharis, Grihastha, everyone will preach. Here, like Prabhupada said, like, wearing a sannyas and everything in like doesn't make you a devotee. It's true. Like in Mahaprabhu's time as well, there were like many sannyasis of his associates, but who will never wear a sannyas dress. They will just dress casually and they will just simply say preach. They will only preach. That's the mood of Prabhupada. If you really understand the mood of Prabhupada, if you think I am really surrendered to Prabhupada, you go and preach and do books distributions in the street. Everyone should do that. Everyone. This will commit at least one day in their week. At least minimum 1 day in their week. 2 days in their week according to their capacity. 1 hour a day. 30 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day. Maybe to 1 minute a day. But go and preach to people. At least try to make effort to convince one people. Give books to one people. Because that was the mood of Prabhupada. You distribute my books. You preach this knowledge. If you are fully surrendered to Prabhupada, then you will go and preach books. Distribute books to the people on the street. Can you imagine how many devotees we think are here in Sydney? 2,000, 5,000? 10,000? Maybe? Maybe 10,000? Can you imagine 10,000 devotees on a different suburbs of Sydney preaching to people, distributing books? That's the Brihad Mirdanga you play on the street. When Krishna used to play his flute, all the gopis used to leave their houses and run away. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to do his Harinam Sankirtan, even the impersonalists, even the non-devotees, they used to get so attracted, they used to run towards him. In Tomskoy Park, when Prabhupada chanted his Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He played his kartal. All the associates came running towards him. You do Brihad Mirdanga on every single street of Sydney. That should be our mood. Then only we can say, I am surrendered to Prabhupada. I know the mood of Prabhupada. By distributing books of Prabhupada. That should be the only mission. Not the survival. Okay, we have got enough. This time Janmashtami, we get, okay, nice donation. We are safe this Janmashtami. Let's think about next Janmashtami next time. No. That's not the mood of a ISKCON. That's not the mood of a Prabhupada. Prabhupada didn't establish this ISKCON for a survival. Prabhupada established this ISKCON for preaching the knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, to everybody. That's the mood of Mahaprabhu. You give one book to Mahaprabhu, you give one book to people on the street, Mahaprabhu will personally at the moment will be hugging you at that moment. That's the most important thing of this mission. To preach to the people, to distribute books. That should be our only one mood in this Krishna consciousness. From next time, if anybody say, oh, I'm surrendered to Prabhupada, ask them how many books you distributed. How many times a week you go for book distribution. Do you try to even preach to people? Not all the service are different. All the service are same. Because archan service also same. Cleaning temple service also same. Because there is no special service where Krishna says, you do the service, you are dear to me. No. All the service to Krishna are same. But all the service have each and their own challenges. All the service have their own challenges. But the mood of Prabhupada and mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was to preach. To preach. So this is our disciplic succession. Mahaprabhu told his associates to preach. From their Rupa Goswami. Then from whole, here we come our Guru Parampara. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a Grihastha. Still, he will preach. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada used to preach from Gaudiya Math. Prabhupada used to preach. Prabhupada preached. His disciple preached. Our Guru Maharaj preached. So that's our only one mood. If we are surrendered to our Guru Maharaj, then we will preach. Because that's the only way we can make our spiritual master happy. Our spiritual master is happy, Prabhupada is happy. Prabhupada is happy, Mahaprabhu is happy. Krishna himself is happy with us. That should be our only one mood in Krishna consciousness. This happiness, this Krishna consciousness, actually Krishna had said in Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 that everything done in the mood of goodness like happiness is, at first, it seems like a poison, but later it becomes nectar. When I was a karmist, I used to think like, how can these people survive on only vegetarian meal? I will never be able to do that. How can these people survive on vegetarian meal? And so that thing looks like a poison at the first, but it becomes nectar later. But similarly, the non-devotees, the thing that is a nectar at first, but at last it is poison. They are eating, they do not follow four regulative principle. For them it feels like nectar. I'm enjoying partying, living my life to the fullest. But actually at the end, when the time of deathbed, when Yamadutas and come and shackle the rope in their neck and start dragging them, at that time they will realize, this was actually a poison. When all their position will be gone, it doesn't even take oneself to even wait for the deathbed. You wait till your age is gone. You get like no satisfaction in enjoying anything. You have money, but you don't get satisfaction. So that's thing. So I will just share a small glories of 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. My Guru Maharaj has said, and then this is just I was listening to his lecture maybe yesterday or the day before yesterday. He shared this glories of 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So I would just like to share that 18th chapter and conclude my class. This is also about Indra. So my whole class is all about Indra today. Actually, our story was about Prithu Maharaj, but yeah, I talked whole about Indra only. One day Indra was like sitting on his throne, and then the Vishnudutas came with a person, and Indra seeing Vishnudutas, they are a servant of my master, so their position, the Vishnudutas, their position is higher than me. So he came out of his seat, he offered obeisance to them, and Vishnudutas took and make that person sat on the Indra's throne. Indra was like, my throne gone, just like that. I came out to offer obeisances, they took my throne. And he went to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like, how can you do that to me? He took my throne. What did he do? I have performed awesome at the yajna, 100-hour sacrifice, everything. I have done so much this and that, austerity. And I became Indra. And one guy will come and I came down to offer obeisances, he will go and sit on my throne. What is like that? And Supreme Personality of Godhead said, because he was reading five texts of 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita every single day. Only 5 texts. 18th chapter. I was so pleased with him. So I made him Indra. And Indra was like, does it take only 5 texts of 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita to become a Indra? And Indra went back and started reading 18th chapter of, 5 texts of 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita every single day. And again Supreme Personality of Godhead was pleased. And then Vishnudutas came and said, okay Indra, Lord is pleased with you, what do you want? And then Indra said, this time I already had my throne. This time, this is a different Indra. Can this time I go back home, back to Godhead? And yeah, of course you can. And they took him back home, back to Godhead. So that's the power of 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So my Guru Maharaj said this story in that. So then similarly in Prithu Maharaj also, he is nicely offering obeisance to his spiritual master, and later he got mercy of his spiritual master, though he is very celebrated king in entire universe. That should be our mood, and our mood should be always surrender to Prabhupada and distribute his books and preach. That's how we can please Guru and Gauranga. Saying this, I would like to conclude my class. Any questions? My Guru, it's in one of the lectures in ISKCON Desire Tree. in Jayapataka Swami Maharaj archive, you go to English lecture Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18. There are only 3 lectures in chapter 18 file. It should be one of those 3. My Guru Maharaj said that. So he doesn't give any back reference of where he got this or any Puranas or any reference, but so I'm repeating whatever my Guru Maharaj had said. So I heard in his lecture. So you go in, if anybody wants to go, they can go in ISKCON Desiratory, ISKCON Swamis. I can tell you step by step. ISKCON Swamis D2P, and then Isn't Jayapataka Swami Maharaj English lecture Bhagavad Gita chapter 18. There's like you have to click and every single time go different page like that. So any other questions? No? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।